I'm Veronique.
And I'm Sylvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast.
Where multicultural moms connect. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. High Vibes and a Mic. I'm Sylvia and I'm here with Veronique. How are you, Vero?
Good. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about the reasons why your manifestations are not happening or why they're not becoming reality. Because a lot of times we just we make a list of the things that we want, our desires, and like, oh yeah, I want all these things done. But then half or more than half of the things on your list don't become reality, and you wonder why. You just say like, oh, I don't believe in that crap, like law of attraction, or it's not the way it is, or I was just born to be this way. You come up with several excuses to justify why things didn't happen, right? Or why things didn't manifest. So I think it's good for us to kind of like look into it more and to see why, or try to discover the reasons why the things you're trying to manifest are not becoming a reality. So to start, let me give you my the first thing that for me I think is the most important one for you not being able to manifest your goals is the lack of gratitude. For me, is number one. When you just think you're entitled to things and that you are like, oh, but I deserve this. I'm like, no, you need to be grateful for the small things, like anything that you receive. Because if you don't have that feeling, that vibration in you, how can you bring amazing things to your life? There is no way. You're going to be a resentful person who is jealous of other people, who are like, comparing yourself to others and just thinking that like you're entitled to get what you want, but that's it. Where is the being grateful? Where is the part of like, thank you for all that I have, the small things, even the bad things that happen to you. I'm sure it's a lesson too, right? It's something that you learn. All the bad things that happen to us, we learn something from it, and they happen for a reason. So even in those situations, we should be grateful in the end. So I think like number one is being grateful. If you don't have gratitude, you're not going to be able to manifest your desires. That's super simple. At least like in that category, yes. Like lack of gratitude is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you have it and that you're grateful, and then you're on the right track. What do you think, Veronique? Do you agree, or do you have other things too?
I think the key word in what you said is the small things, because I think usually we're always grateful about when something big happened to us. I got that new promotion, or I'm pregnant, or we got the new house. Every big thing that you get, of course, you're going to be grateful. But those little things, like, I was able to find parking today at this very busy place, or I was able to talk to my friend today. She's always busy and she had time for me. So those little things, you have to be very grateful. Something I'm always grateful is just to have like even a roof on my head. Like sometimes, I just
of course.
need sometimes to hug your house, hug the wall and say, thank you, house, thank you very much. And just being happy to have, a roof on your top of your head. So being grateful for the little things. Yeah. The bad things, bad things happen to you. You can try to have a lesson from that. It's harder, of course. So I'm completely agree. The lack of gratitude, definitely. For me, the thing also that would keep me from manifesting is the doubting. Always that is going to happen. Not everything that you want might happen in your life, of course, because there's something that might not be for you. But sometimes when you have something really in your heart, and you kind of know you're going to get it, but it's not happening in your time frame. Also, sometimes it's not on the schedule. It can take more time than you think it's gonna take, and you just start doubting. Maybe it wasn't for me, or maybe it's not. I wasn't built for it, and you just give up on the idea, or you just give up on it. Well, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna manifest because you don't put thought to it, or good vibration, or you don't work on it anymore. So doubting also. Yeah, it's different
Hmm.
than being having your eyes open that okay, no, I'm not gonna be a diplomat, I'm not gonna be a doctor,
Yeah,
all right,
little bit of like being realistic. Yeah, within your
realistic,
reality.
exactly. But yeah, the other things that's close to that very close to your heart, you need to believe that it can and it will happen.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and it's like the limiting beliefs that they call, right? When you just like
Mm-hmm.
self-doubting and you just think like, ah, yeah, no, it's not gonna be so hard for me to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this like it leads to lack of focus, which is
Mm.
another thing that blocks your manifestation. When you're not able to focus on what you want. You're just like you have scattered thoughts and you're just like, oh yeah, I think I want that, but like what exactly do you want, and why? Give the reason why you want that and how that thing is going to change your life. Like that's how, well, I mean, that's what I mean by being focused. Like you just like give a specific reasons for why you want that, and just picture the thing happening and how you're gonna feel and why it's gonna be beneficial to you. So then you kind of like, okay, yeah, yeah. Then it changes, and then you put more effort on just making the thing happen. Because of course you have to act, right? You
Yeah.
can just wish and sit down and do nothing. That's like what they call the inspired action, that you move, like you put it on a list, you dream about it, you think about it, but you also act upon it so that the thing can become a reality. So
Yeah.
definitely like focus on what you want and taking actions, and then things will happen. Guarantee you they will happen.
Sometimes there's some stuff that can happen in your life, and you're like, oh, you know, I thought about that 2 years ago. I wish I could have that, and it happens sometimes out of the blue. Something happened, but it's so rare. Most of the time, you kind of have to work on it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good thing to be focused, like you said.
Hmm.
Um, Something that I like to do also when I want to manifest my dream. I like to be around people that can inspire me also. Because if you're around negative people, negativity and stuff like that, it just puts you down. And
Oh
sometimes you
yeah.
just follow, um, their lead. A few years ago, so for the listeners, who already know, who knows us already, had some problem with some old friends and let them go, move on. But after a while, one of them tried to contact me again and wanted to know how was my kid. At that time, I only had my first daughter. And I was like, and I thought about it. Oh, should I start again with this person, being friend with this person? And he was really negative. But like, on the toxic side, very, very toxic. And I'm like, okay, it's been 2 years. Maybe he changed. Maybe he's better. And he asked me for how I was, and I was like, no, no, don't go back in that trap. Don't go back in that hole. Because I know he didn't. Actually, when I asked him question, I'm like, how are you? He started complaining again about his life. And I'm like, okay, no, not gonna do that again.
Oh.
Not gonna do that again. You're missing all Veronique, because she was your free therapist. Not gonna do that again. And I was like, well, good luck with your life and bye bye. No. So
Yeah.
yeah, surround yourself with people who are positive or maybe thinking more like you if you want things to
Yeah.
advance.
Yeah, because it's so easy to go down with them. It's much easier to go down than to go up. Guarantee you. So don't want to be hanging out with people. And us at our age would be couples, that are messed up, that are dysfunctional families. I don't want to
Yeah.
hang out with people like that. Just like, what good is it gonna do? Or
Hmm.
I know that some people actually like hanging out with losers so that they feel important. There is that, like, oh yeah, they're worse than me, so that you can feel a little better. But that's sad that you need
Yeah.
that in your life. And you're
Mm-mm.
just going down with them too. So no, I don't. I really try to avoid being those group. Like you learn, things that you learn in life. This is one of them.
Yeah.
The type of people you're around that you hang out with. Definitely. I didn't know that in my 20s. Even very early 30s, I didn't know about that. And now I'm like, yes, I'm on it. Don't waste my time with people that are not worth it, and that make no effort to change and to become better people. So I'm like, see ya.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think there's a difference. You can be messed up, but if you're at least trying to get out of it, you can find support with your friend and stuff like that. But if you just love your drama, like one of my friends that the crying girl at the wedding, she just love the drama. You just love the drama. Your life is always drama, and you love it. So you're gonna stay in drama. I'm sorry. I had one
Yeah.
of those couple around me, very dysfunctional, and once I had to shelter the woman because she was telling me the husband was gonna beat her or something like that. They had a fight or whatever. So she asked me if she could sleep at home. My husband was like, "Oh, I don't know. Do we need to meddle in this? Because if the husband called me, because he's friends with the husband." So I was like, hey, we cannot leave her, in this house. And Sylvia, it was the beginning of oh no, the worst, I think, friend time of my life with this girl. The worst. So
No.
no, yeah, try to I mean, I wasn't going to leave her alone at that time, but after she was back with the husband, and like, this is you and your husband. Now they divorced, of course. Thank God. They're not together anymore, but don't involve me in your craziness.
Yeah. Like
I,
involving you and your family, like stay at your
I
place.
know. I don't mind helping you out, of course, because if you're on the street, of course you can come home. But what happened after, it was even worse. So no, don't involve me in your craziness. So yeah, surround yourself. Don't
Jeez.
surround yourself with negativity. Surround yourself with positivity.
Yeah,
It's very important.
100%.
Yeah.
And another thing that is blocking your manifestation is definitely fear. I mean, you
Mm.
live in fear.
Yeah.
You just like you're frozen. You just don't get anything done. I think like fear also leads to apathy, where you don't even take any action. You're just like, oh no, I can't go there.
Yeah.
So then you just like you don't move. You just like you're that thing like expecting that things are gonna fall off from the sky, or just gonna be complaining and no bitching about your miserable life because you're not doing anything. You're not trying to change your fear. You have fear, you let it consume your body. Like,
Yeah.
what if you feel like it's worth trying? Why not go in? And especially if you have to make a better life for yourself, you have to do it. You can't let just fear take over, because obviously when you are like, if when you let fear take over your life, you just like nothing's gonna happen for you. Like nothing
Yeah.
good for sure. And you really attract the type of things you're fearful of, like a lot of times. That like because you just have that in your mind, you're thinking about like the worst case scenario. Like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. It's funny, but it does happen in one way or another. All the things you've been thinking about. So be careful with that. Be
You
careful with
should
fear.
you should you should have seen the fear in people's eyes when I told them, hey, I'm moving to the state with barely money, just enough money for 6 months rent, one friend waiting for me there, and that's it. No job, nothing. Living a very cushy, job in Europe, my family. You should have heard the fear in my family's, uh, mouth, my friends. Are you crazy? Why are you doing this? It was the best decision I ever taken in my life. Best decision ever. Best decision. So yeah, don't let the fear, stop you for what you want to do, because you have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot stay like frozen in case something bad
Mm-hmm.
happens. Yeah, nothing is going to manifest in this case. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? How did your family take the news that you're moving to America like this? Because it's
Oh
not like
yeah,
somebody
no.
was waiting for you there, right?
Yeah, no, they hated it. I mean, they were shocked. They're like, "What are
Yeah,
you
right.
doing?"
Something.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. My mom was crying. My
Oh
dad was
no.
one because like men and women, right? Like they are
Mm-hmm.
so different. My dad supported me. He was like very like, okay, whatever works for you. But my mom is the one who's like losing it.
Oh
But
yeah.
he's like, yeah, whatever works for you. If you think it's gonna be good for you. I
Uh-huh.
like that balance, because it
Yeah.
really helps. Like you need to have the yin and yang when
Yeah.
someone is like super emotional, the other person is like you're gonna have that, especially men are very like so more rational than women in that sense. It helps you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like a lot of things I would not have done if it wasn't for my dad, for being like, you can do it, like you guys can do it. But my mom, oh, but I don't know, they're too young. That like
Yeah.
the
The men's
women,
side.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so it's interesting to see. So that, yeah, it wasn't. I remember calling every day too, like every single day,
Oh
just
yeah.
calling home like every day, and then in the end turned out fine. But yeah, it's a big change. Yeah, so just gotta do it.
I think my mom thought I was going to come back after 1 or 2 years, when my crisis would be over. And then I met Pascal and she was like, okay, it's done. She's going to stay there. She's not coming back. So
Hmm.
yeah, don't let people scare you, from your dreams. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
What about something I do all the time, unfortunately? And I think that's why sometimes I don't manifest as quick as I want. Ignoring your intuition. Because I have a lot, sometimes I think about something and I'm like, nah, that cannot be right. And it is right. Listen to your intuition, And sometimes I'm
Hmm.
afraid of my intuition. I think that can
Yeah.
block you, right? That can block also your blessing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You need to listen.
The thing is, I do that all the time. Even like when I buy something or when I want to do maybe even activities, sometimes I'm like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't do that or I should do it. And I don't know. I don't have something coming up to my mind right now, but I know that's something I do. I don't listen to my intuition. And then after something happened, I'm like, you see, that's what you thought at the beginning. You didn't want to do it, or you wanted to do it, and you shouldn't have. You should have, you know. So
Hmm.
that's something I do.
Hmm.
I know that's something I do. I'm known for
Okay.
this.
Like you should have done it, or like it's more like a regret for doing it. So because you didn't listen to your intuition.
Yeah, there's something, yeah, I do. I wouldn't say on the regular, but I remember, catching myself saying, "Oh, you see, you thought you were thinking about that thing that could happen or not, and
Hmm.
you knew deeply that that wasn't right or it was right. You didn't listen to yourself,
Okay. Hmm.
and it could be something silly like, for instance, I'm going to go to the gym, but I don't know, down, I know that the gym is closed today, something like that. I will still go, and I go there and it's closed. But deep down, I knew, maybe I read it somewhere and I forgot. You know what I mean? It could be silly,
Hmm.
silly stuff. I think sometimes you need
Hmm.
to listen to your gut. Maybe for big
Yeah.
stuff, of course, you need to listen to your gut more. And I think sometimes that can block your blessing. Sure.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Just like ignore it. Like, no, 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 no. You should totally listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing that we could say is lack of faith. Well, when
Yeah.
you just don't believe in anything to begin with, it's very like if you don't believe in God, and I just don't even know how you can. I mean, you can get material things, but that's about it. Because then the spiritual part of you doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. Then I can't really say like how that I can imagine how it is. But like when you don't have faith, uh, what how can you even live like not having faith, right? Like expecting, like believing that it's in God's hands too, and but like actually you have to do, of course, like it's in God's hands doesn't mean that you're not going to do anything to make it happen, but he knows what is best for you in the end. If it's supposed to work out, or to be, it's if it's in your path, if it's for you, it's going to happen with your help of obviously doing your work to make the thing happen. But you need to have faith. Like if you're dealing with anything, if it's like in this any like family struggles, or health struggles, financial struggles, once when you have faith and you just believe like God is my shepherd, he's gonna guide me and he's gonna provide, and then things just happen when you believe. But you have to really believe. You need to have faith. The lack of
Yeah.
faith doesn't get you anywhere. Because if you don't have it, like, why bother? Why even bother trying
Well,
anything?
that's a good segue to what I was actually gonna uh, talk about: faith of superstitions. Also, I have this
Mm-hmm.
friend that and she let her life being taken away by superstition from her country, and that really derailed her whole life. It derailed her whole life because she thinks that somebody did something to her,
Uh-huh.
and she's really that's what I don't get. By the way, she's a very hardcore Christian, and I don't understand how can you be a hardcore Christian, but you let the superstition, you leave the superstition also from your country, your original country, take over, and you don't believe that God is protecting you. You think
Mm-hmm.
that a human being on this earth can be bigger and have more power than God. This is not possible.
Yeah.
She's a hardcore Christian. If you think that you're the child of God and you know that you're protecting by God and nobody can take your will away or do anything that if you don't give them permission, why did you? And I think she lost a lot of time in her life because of that. She lost a lot of stuff in her life
Mm-hmm.
because
That's a great example, actually. I remember that story of this.
right.
Because then you're like, she probably in her mind is everything's like, oh yeah, but it's not gonna work out anyway because I cursed. My life is supposed to be like this, because a person cursed me not to have a family, not to have this, not to have that. So why am I gonna even bother? So she really let this curse, quote unquote curse, just take over her life because she was totally powerless. She just let it lead her
Completely.
life, and now that's like it's all. She never realized it's up to her, not
I
and
know.
God, and not like these people.
Can't
So
have a
very
can't have
sad.
a normal relationship. Will not have children. It's too late now.
Yeah.
And that's too because she would have been the best wife. She would have been the best mom. She's a very adorable person, very nice person.
Mm-hmm.
She's very, very nice. Good Christian. And you let your superstition from your country take over. I never understood that. Never.
Yeah.
Never understood
Yeah.
that. It's very
Yeah.
powerful. So
How you can change your life, right? It's really amazing.
yes,
It's amazing. Yeah. For the
exactly.
worse.
Letting superstition like that take over.
Yeah.
So if you're a believer, if you believe in God, you shouldn't leave. You shouldn't let any superstition take over. If you believe
Mm-hmm.
in God, because that's the only person who really count.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give
yeah,
them power. It's just
yeah,
giving them power.
give them
And
power,
like people say those things too, and they say like they're gonna put a curse on you, like in countries like that, they do that stuff.
whatever.
Is it just being jealous of you? So they're just like because you're doing better than them. And so like don't give them power. Like, hey, I know like you're the one who is the weak one. You think you're gonna
Yeah.
affect me? No, you don't have the power for that.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let
It's
that
only if
affect
it's
you.
in your mind saying, oh, this person cursed me, so yeah, that's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work because you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're doing his dirty job. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what she did all those years. That's what she did.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
another
Very
story.
sad. Yes, that is another. It's a good story of like, wow, how just like your fears can really become a reality and just ruin your life. Yeah,
This is
that's
so
what it
sad.
is. Yeah.
What about I was just taking this one also? What can block your manifestation? What about maybe not taking responsibility when you do something wrong and you're blaming other people and you're like, oh, that doesn't happen because this
Oh
person
yeah,
does that or that person does that.
being a victim. Yeah. It's being a victim.
Exactly, huh? Being a
Nowadays, it's very
victim.
popular. Everybody wants to be a victim. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. It's because of this. It's not never your fault. Never the
Yeah.
person's fault. Yeah, and they just don't go anywhere either. People like
Huh?
that don't move forward. They
No,
just don't. They just don't.
it's always somebody else's
Never.
fault.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, because they
So
didn't do. How about you? What did you do? Like, what are you doing to change your life? Like, to improve your life? Like,
oh,
stop blaming all the circumstances, the people, the this. It's you. I'm sorry. Like, I don't buy this anymore. And yeah, that's definitely a big blockage there
yeah.
for manifestation.
Yeah. And sometimes, they always have the same freaking story years after years. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
if you take all this story, what's in common? You. You're the problem. Okay? In all the stories, it's
Yeah.
always you who come back. All the people are different, and it's always you in the center.
Yeah.
So reflect a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
And maybe you
Look
will
at
move
yourself.
to
Yeah.
something better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Sorry
should
if
do
I
that.
Sorry if I raise my voice a little bit here. That pisses me off, when I see people, because I had this experience with a lot of people that I know. And every time I'm trying to say, maybe you need to change, a bit your mindset, or they don't listen. So why bother?
Yeah, it's
Why bother
okay
anyway?
not to, like, even if like you learn later, like, like you're like, oh, I was a victim, I acted as a victim, now I don't. At least like you learned, because there are
Mm-hmm.
some situations you're gonna just be bitching about people. Like, I've done that, you've done it, and we
Mm-hmm.
just think we're not doing anything wrong. And then
Yeah.
time goes on, and then you're like, well, but I was an idiot too,
Uh,
and why did I get triggered? Why did I have to react? Why do, like, so, like, it's also my fault by why did the way this person behaved bother me that much?
yeah.
Why? Things like that. Or like, so there's the things that that's why you have to sometimes you acknowledge later. But
Yeah.
if you do, it's a huge thing. But when you don't at all ever, then and you just complain, and blame everybody else, then
Yeah.
no, this is not, it's not gonna help you. You're just gonna stay where you are. That is
Exactly.
pretty
And
much
keep
it.
keep on complaining and annoying your friends, and they're all gonna
Yeah, so
disappear.
fun. Yeah, so pleasant to be around people like that. It's so pleasant. So before we end, then I think we had a good list, right, about the manifestations, things that block
Yes.
manifestations, because it's good to look into it and see, like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I do this, and actually that's why my plans are not becoming reality. So do you have any example of manifestation struggle that you had, like something that like you tried and now you see like you'd have done it differently, or like because it didn't succeed?
Hmm.
Um,
I would say, yeah, actually. Yeah, I have a good one. So my last job, I remember that totally manifest that job. Totally manifest that job. When I saw the job, I remember I cut the I printed the ad from LinkedIn in my book. I was like meditating on it, I want that job, I want that job. And when I got the job, I asked, how many people applied for that job. A lot of people applied, and I got it. And it was a long interview and stuff like that. So I got the job, and in my mind, I was manifesting my last job when I was going to retire. It was a job where I was going to get. It was a startup when I was going to get a lot of stock option, get rich. That startup was going to blow up. We're going to get a lot of money, and I'm going to just stay there and just retire. And I don't know what happened. It went down very quickly after 2 years. Maybe I got too comfortable. I don't know what happened, but by the end, I got into fight with my colleagues, nasty fight. Which was I can say now it was totally my fault. I was in the wrong in it, but the way they went around it was wrong also. So that's another story. But went down. I wanted to quit, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna quit. And then in my head, I wasn't going to stay in that company. And then, I got laid off. The company didn't work out. I got laid off. And after that, I was like, this is so weird. I really thought I was manifesting, my dream job. And I was going to go up, the rank, do something else, more experience, more stuff, learn new stuff. And it didn't go at all like that. So I guess it wasn't my destiny, I guess, to do that.
mm-hmm.
Because now I'm doing this, and that's much better.
Yeah, because sometimes you wonder, okay, it didn't really happen, but
Mm-hmm.
why? It was just not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as in the
because
stars.
God had better plans, right?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, this is
Yeah,
the better plan. I hope so.
I don't. Yeah, I know. Like with me, like, well, I have, like, I was thinking about one thing when I got pregnant the fourth time that was unexpected. But
Oh
so
yeah.
I try to think about that, like, how did I manifest that? What it was, but then I don't think I truly wanted
Oh
in
yeah.
the end, deep inside. I don't think I truly, that's what I'm trying, like, because it wasn't, it was a surprise. I remember one time we
Mm-hmm.
talked, like, I was 44. Come on, like 44, like
You
you're
were?
really playing. I was
I thought you were
44
like
when I got pregnant with
41.
my fourth. Yeah. No, with Connor, I was 41 with my third,
Okay,
but
pardon.
44. So
Oh,
But I remember like having doubts about it, like, is this like like 44 and doing this again, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
I'm like, okay, but I was like, okay, let's do it. So
yeah.
I think it would be way too much. My God, 4 kids without help here, without, because I know these families from the school that they have their grandparents living and around, and they help a lot. When we don't have that help, like, my life would be completely different. But anyway, like, I just feel like it wasn't it wasn't a firm yes. There was doubt. There was kind of
Oh,
a,
you think?
yeah. I remember not
Yeah,
being 100%, but I'm like, oh, okay. And then it happened, like, wow. Oh, now you embraced it, right?
yeah.
But there was that doubt. There wasn't like the other pregnancies that I was like, I want it
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna get it, and I got it. This
Yeah.
one wasn't like that. So that's when you're thinking about like a manifestation struggle. That would be one example of like not really having that conviction of believing that it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and then it actually, yeah. So in the end, it
Well,
didn't happen. So I don't know. It wasn't meant to be. God had better plans for me, and you know.
well, I
But
got the
yeah, it's
same.
good to analyze, think
Yeah,
about
I
these
got the
things.
same experience with my first pregnancy that I thought did I manifest it? I mean, we really worked hard on it, but the whole time during the pregnancy, I was in fear of losing the baby because because I was listening to that friend who had
Oh
issue with her
yeah, that's another
pregnancies.
good example,
God,
of bad influence.
she was losing babies after babies after babies, and she had issues. And sorry, and she was maybe on her sixth pregnancies and still losing. And the sixth one, I think she got it. And what happened? I lost the baby the same way she did. I was listening to her story for the whole time, like during my pregnancy, and I had the exact same issue.
That
And
is so crazy.
when I told her, I can tell you, misery likes company. I think I could even hear a smile in her voice because she lives in England. When I told her, she was like, oh, I was afraid you were going to tell me that something would happen too. But like, she was happy that it happened to me too because she wasn't alone anymore. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
She wasn't happy, but I could feel like she was comforted that,
I
oh, other
know.
people, happened. So, yeah, same thing,
Hmm.
living in fear that finally I had my dream baby, but I was in fear that wasn't going to happen because of her. So when I got pregnant
Yeah.
with Eden, I knew that was going to happen. For me, it was like, no, I'm going to get that baby. I knew that's the baby. And I didn't tell anybody for months. My family and friends didn't even know I was pregnant until I was like 8 months. Except for of course, my mom, my brother. But my extended family,
Hmm.
they didn't know. No picture on Facebook except my face. Nothing. Nothing. I'm like, I don't want to hear anything negative. And yeah. So don't surround yourself, like we said earlier, don't surround yourself with negative people because that's what happened. It was really like, like I said, the writing on the wall. She was telling me her story, and that happened to me. The same thing. So
Yeah, that's a great example. Another good one, Veronique. Like, it's insane.
I know, right?
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, people, our listener will use that and apply that to their daily lives. And
Yeah.
some of you, I hope, are already doing it, So, because we're really into manifestation here. And you too, I guess. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're happy to share.
All right, guys, this is all for today. We
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed the show. We love doing this type of episodes. So share with your friends if you can, and let us know what you think about it. If you have any manifestation struggles, success, let us know if you can. And see you and talk to you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and exploring. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.